everyone, this is Ashmita from Saurav's classes. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the NMSQT examination, that's the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. Now, this is also known as the Preliminary SAT exam, or you can also call this exam PSAT exam, and it's a practice version of the SAT exam. So you can only take the PSAT or the NMSQT exam once per year, and many students take their test in both 10th and 11th grade. And if you earn a high score on the PSAT your junior year, you could qualify to receive a National Merit Scholarship. That's around $180 million in merit scholarships are awarded to students each year. So you can be one of them. PSAT is a 2-hour 45 minutes long exam, and it will test your skills in reading, writing and mathematics. Unlike the SAT exam, the highest score possible on the PSAT is 1520. So how long is the PSAT exam? The PSAT or the NMSQT examination is often taken during the school day in place of other classes. And the test itself takes about 3 hours. Like I told you, 2 hours 45 minutes. So it's like around 3 hours only, including the break time. So what are the sections that you can get in this examination? So you will receive a composite score, 2 section scores and a variety of subsection scores. The test itself includes 4 time sections like the evidence-based reading. You have you have this writing and language section. Then you have maths, where you are getting no calculator, and another section is there where you are getting maths with calculator. Let's now move over to the discussion of the evidence-based reading. Now in evidence-based reading, you are having around 47 questions in total, and you're getting 60 minutes, that's 1 hour you are getting for completing these 47 questions. And the passage genres include world literature, then you have social studies, or an option you have history, and you also have science. And the score range is between 80 to 380 marks, and it would be half of the verbal score. The evidence-based reading section of the PSAT will test your ability to read a passage, then think critically about its main ideas and the key details, and then answer the related questions. These questions will test the concepts like the command of the evidence, then the words in context, and the analysis in history or social studies and science. Then the command of evidence questions will provide 4 excerpts from the passage, and they will ask you to determine which one provides the best evidence for the previous question. Then questions about words in context will focus on secondary word meanings. The reading test includes passages related to literature, then you have history, you have social studies, then you have science. Now, some PSAT questions will ask you to examine the hypothesis, to interpret the data presented in a variety of ways, and also to conduct other analysis that is based only on what is either stated or implied in the passage. Yeah, so that was all about the evidence-based section. Now coming to the writing and the language section. Here you are supposed to answer 44 questions. You are getting 35 minutes to complete this writing and language section, and the topics that are included over here includes expression of ideas, then you have standard English conventions also. Here the score ranges between 80 to 380 marks, and that's the half of the verbal score. The writing and the language section of the PSAT will test your ability to identify and fix the grammatical errors, as well as revise the words and phrases to improve the text. Some of the topics within the standard English conventions topic include this verb agreement, like subject-verb agreement we call it. Then you have punctuation use, then you have parallel construction. Those are the things. And in the expression of ideas category, you will be tested on the placement of the sentences and the purpose of the transition words or phrases within the text. Then you have this mathematics section where you are getting questions around 47, like 47 questions you are getting in the math section. You are getting 25 minutes to complete those sums, where you are not allowed to use the calculator, and you are then getting 45 minutes for those sums where you are getting the calculator. Topics that are there includes this algebra, then you have data analysis, you have problem solving based sums, you have advanced mathematics, and your score range is between 160 to till 760. Let me tell you in a bit more detailed manner that there are two math sections, okay, on the PSAT exam. One will allow the calculator use and the other one will not allow the calculator to be in use. There are both multiple choice questions with 4 answer choices, and there would be a short answer grid-in questions with answers, like with answer choices that include digits from 0 to 9. Then there's decimal point, there's like division, fraction, and some questions will also include 2 related parts where the information from the first part is used to answer the question in the second part. Now, how is the PSAT scored? Now, each correct answer on the PSAT counts as 1 point towards your raw score. Remember that there is no penalty for guessing on the PSAT exam. So answer every multiple choice question even if you have to guess. Next, your raw score will be converted to your scale score. This scale score will range from 160 to 760 for each section. Evidence-based reading and writing and mathematics would be there, and there is no essay on the PSAT. So your composite score is the combination of the scale score from each of these sections. So your composite score will just range from like 320 to 1520. Now you will also be shown 2 percentile ranks comparing you to the other students in your grade. These percentiles will show how well you did compared to the other test takers. If you scored in the 72 percentile, then for example, you did better than 72% of all the test takers. That's an example that I gave you. Now, the nationally representative sample percentile score compares your scores to those of the typical US students in your grade, whether or not they have taken the PSAT. And the user percentile, that's the national percentile score, compares your scores to those of typical US PSAT test takers in your grade. So you can ask your counselor for more information about the percentiles, or anything else on your like PSAT score report. Now, in addition to your scale scores, you will receive 3 test scores, 2 cross-test scores, and 7 sub-scores. And the test scores for reading, writing, and language and mathematics will range from 8 to 38. And these scores are used to calculate your selection index for the National Merit Scholarship Program. The cross-test scores for analysis in history or social studies and the analysis in science will also range from 8 to 38. Finally, you will receive sub-scores ranging from 1 to 15 in the areas like command of evidence, then in the area of words and context, then in the areas of expression of ideas, then standard English conventions, then in the areas of heart of algebra, then problem solving areas and the data analysis areas and the passport to advanced mathematics areas. The College Board who administers the test uses a process called equating to make sure that the scores are scaled fairly and there's no advantage for taking the PSAT on a particular day. So this means that you can feel confident comparing your scores to someone who took the test on a different day than you. In addition, the correct answer choices are distributed in such a way that answer choices they give you A, B, C, and D as your answer choices, right, are all equally likely. So it's only a myth that answer choice C is correct more than the other choices. So what is a good PSAT score? That depends on where you live, first of all. You want to score well on the PSAT because a top score will help you qualify to be like a National Merit Commander Scholar or semi-finalist. However, a certain percentage of students are accepted from each state, so the cutoff in your state depends on how others in your grade will perform. Your counselor can help you learn more about the cutoffs for your state in the previous year, what was the cutoff. But even that isn't predictive since student performance varies from year to year. Yeah, so that was all about this NMSQT examination and how you can get the scholarship. Even if you want the scholarship, we cannot say directly how you can get it because it depends upon the cutoff, how much you are achieving in the exam. So cutoff varies from year to year according to the student's performance that I have already told you. So on that depends the scholarship amount and the scholarship, like who is getting the scholarship every year. So yeah, that's it for today's class. We are going to meet once again in our next classes with more such important discussions.